Hey, everybody, it's Coach Greg Wagner coming to talk to you about week 7 of our training plan for Vermont Gran Fondo 2025. If you've been following along, we've had topics and workouts for the last 6 weeks, and we've got just a couple weeks to go. The event is coming up June 28th. Last week was recovery week. Hopefully, took it all very, very seriously. The goal is recovering and absorbing all of the work you've done. Let it sink in. Not sometimes the tendency, especially at the end of the week, is to go out and test a little bit and overdo it. But trust me, that the more quality recovery, the more you will get out of your training, if that makes sense. So please take that to heart. And it's not just not riding as much or as hard, it's sleeping better, eating better, controlling your stress, uh, keeping your whole environment so that it is conducive to recovery and building new muscle and new fitness. Don't forget, especially the mental reset. Sometimes it's just a relief to not have to go out and push yourself as hard as you have been during the other week. So recovery week should be in the books, and you should be refreshed and recharged and ready to go. This week's workouts, week 7. Let's go. Let me see what I got here. Can I share Training Peaks? I think I can. All right, look, here it is, week 7, and the topic's over here, but let's get into it. Tuesday is called Power Sweet Spot. The structure is 2 minutes, go that threshold pace. If you did a retest at the end of the week, maybe you have a power number, maybe you have a feeling, maybe you have just a pace, make it 8 or 9 out of 10 for 2 minutes. Something you could maintain for 20 minutes, but you're going to do it for 2 minutes, but then settle in just below that for 22 minutes. So look at the structure, and hopefully these structures, if you're looking at them on the videos or if you have Training Peaks, are starting to make sense of what they should feel like. This is basically an FTP test, or very close to it. So just under that race pace for 20 minutes altogether, with 2 minutes, and then for 24 minutes altogether. 2 minutes, then 22. 2 minutes, then 22. That is the main set of the workout. I have it at an hour and a half, but maybe it's going to be longer for you or shorter. Remember, y'all are making some of your own decisions based on what your goal time is. You've looked at the course, you've figured out how fast you go, how much climbing you have a good idea of how long it's going to take you. I've been talking to the people who their event is going to take about 10 hours. I think that's a good section. So if you're thinking you're going to take 10 hours, these are all good recommendations for you. If you think you're going to take less time, these are still very good recommendations. And if this is a reach for you, this type of training and structure, this is still a very good recommendation for you. But maybe you're not thinking that it's doable. These hour 45 is a lot of time to spend in the middle of the day. Like, you have to make some of your own decisions. So anyway, this is basically an endurance ride with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activations or sprints. Go ahead, stand up 20 seconds, see how hard you can push on the pedals or make the bike move, practice your form, ramp up and ramp down. No sudden bursts. Make sure you don't hurt yourself or anything. Remember, do it all with what you're willing to do, not how hard you can go, if that makes sense. All right, let's see. I don't know why this is there. I need this to be like that. Hang on. I want the rest day on Friday. I want you to train on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, ideally. And so here again is some high cadence ramps. This is basically endurance, which with a bunch of high cadence ramp ups, and then a 30-minute tempo section. Okay. Tempo should feel very doable, like you could do it for several hours at this point. So 30 minutes of it is just the right amount of dose for this workout. Then take the day off. Okay. It's Friday, take the day off. Shouldn't be too much fatigue caused here. Maybe a little bit with the power sweet spot, and maybe some from the sprints. But by the end of the week, as you get into Saturday after a day off, you should be feeling good. And this is, again, we've done this race sim workout where you're trying to simulate the demands of what Gran Fondo is going to be like. So depending on your route, You could follow this structure exactly, and again, I'll print it up in the blog, and you can follow it. But this is basically some efforts above hold, some efforts right below threshold, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. That'll take 45 with 5 minutes rest. That'll take 50, that's several hours of structure right there. A little bit more endurance, and then some big gear climbing tempo. If you have a course mapped out that's 3/4 of your event. So I'm doing the 100-mile route. If I have a 75, 80-mile route, I'm going to go do it on this Saturday. Okay. I'm doing 100 miles with that 10,000 feet of climbing. I would find as much climbing as I could do on this day. This day needs to be your last biggest day before the event. Okay. And then the next day, also a big volume day, but bring the intensity down, work in that zone 2 or endurance, however you call it. Endurance is the key. This is an endurance sport. All right, so some totals here. The total for the week I have at 14 hours, 14 and 15 minutes. The week before at 8:15 because that was a recovery time, and the week before that 13:04 came out, 12:10. So you see 14 hours. This is the biggest week in this program. If you're following along, this should be your biggest week. Saturday should be your biggest day. A chance to test out all you've learned. Okay. We started talking about nutrition. We started talking about your bike. Does your bike need any more fine-tuned fit things? Do you have the gears set up the way you want them? Are you trying it on hard hills? Do you have brake pads in your do you have new brake pads? Since there's a lot of climbing in this event, there's a lot of downhill. So I actually had some friends, athletes, come and ride here in Vermont with me this last weekend, and this person knows who I'm talking about. She came downhill off of Lincoln Gap, and by the time she was all the way down with her descending, her brakes were toast. So we need to make sure your bikes are working. That's why I mentioned at the very beginning of this training program. Any other tune-ups? Does your nutrition plan need any fine tuning? You should have it pretty dialed by now. Your fueling and nutrition. Climbing, descending. What else have we talked about? The mental prep. Okay, we've talked about a lot of things, and this is where you put it all together. Pretend this day is the event and go do it. It should be about 3/4 of what your event is, maybe a little bit less, depending on who you are and where you are and a lot of things. So again, make up your own minds, but that's what we're looking at. All right, so that's Saturday, then some. That's the workouts. That is the workouts. All right. So speaking of overreach and bigger things, why do we go so hard to work well? Well, so the theory on overreach is that you have an overacted an overactive a super compensation. Sorry, I was blanking for a second. Super compensation. Well, the body says, all right, hey, we're stepping things up a little bit. We better make all the refinements and adjustments and adaptations that we need to handle this bigger load that's going to keep coming. But then we fool it and we taper down a little bit so that we're left after just super compensating, feeling pretty fresh. So by now you've been on enough training rides to notice that sometimes you feel good and sometimes you feel kind of slow and sluggish. We're trying to bring your best day to Gran Fondo Day. We're trying to make you feel good on that day and be snappy and have your best performance. So overreach, it's actually, here are the really important process, which was recovery last week, overreach this week, and then taper down afterwards. So and it doesn't work for everybody. So you might want to try this process and then figure out how you could tweak it to fit yourself. And again, it goes without it's not just on the bike. The rest of your life matters. How much are you sleeping? How well are you sleeping? Stress levels, nutrition, even how much sun do you get? How hydrated are you? All right, so overreach. really you're trying to push yourself beyond your limits for this week, but then we're going to taper down and bring out a really good feeling after super compensating on for a week during taper and then looking really good. Uh, any more little tweaks, okay? Take notes, really start paying attention. These last couple weeks are important, not just for following the workouts and overreaching and super compensating, but everything needs to start lining up. I used to need everything. I mean, I needed my car clean, I needed my bike clean, clothes clean, dishes done. I needed everything done when I was preparing for a race. Just helped me feel more in control and less stressed about things. Oh, I don't have all these chores to do; they're already done. What I would say. Um, so anyway, just make I think actually start writing some notes out, and it's a good practice to do as you're getting ready for the event. What is helpful and what is not to help you start feeling like you're really kind of on top of things and could have your best performance. So uh, all right, guys, it is fun. Remember, I'm with Basecamp Endurance or joinbasecamp.com, a group of coaches who we all work together, and there's great education for me. But we have a race team and just a wealth of knowledge. And if you want to check out joinbasecamp.com, I think Todd has put a link to it in the Basecamp or in the Vermont Gran Fondo training section, and you can read about me or any of the other coaches. And if you're interested in coaching for this event or for other events or even just kind of straight on through, give us a shout. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Hopefully you are ready to work this week.